Hi there, my crafty friends. It is Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF, coming at ya. We are going to do something a little different today. We are going to make a very pretty and delicate card. Not my normal go-to, but it was super fun, and despite the look of it, it is actually pretty easy. So let's get our craft on. I'm going to bring in my slightly used, pre-loved piece of grid paper. Waste not, want not. And we are going to use my product of the week, which this week, and this is Monday, March 18th through Sunday, March 24th. Yes. If you order this product with me during this week before 8 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, March 24th, you will get a special little gift from me. So this coordinates with the Vases Builder's Punch, and it's such a wonderful accompaniment to varied vases. So let's stop with the big words and let's just get to crafting here. So I'm going to change up the colors. I used So Saffron the first time. I'm just going to keep that off in the corner. Not a lot of supplies that you need for this. I've got a Pool Party card base. So it is 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. Looks like kind of a wonky cut there, but we'll figure that out. And then I have 2 card layers. So this one is our traditional layer, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And that is the piece that we are going to emboss. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. And then this is the one that we are going to die cut. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. We'll just use some washi tape and figure out where the middle of that is. About there. So we can die cut that, and we can emboss this. So I'm just going to move everything back out of the way and bring the big shot in. So I'll do the die cutting first, and then we can emboss both pieces one after another. Whenever you are both die cutting and embossing one piece, you want to do the die cutting first, because of course once it goes through the big shot again, it would flatten any embossing that you've just done. There's our die cutting. We'll just peel that off gently, and then we'll take the thin die adapter and the bottom plate out. I'm using the subtle embossing folder. The reason I'm doing this is because that mark that's left behind from the die, I like to try and cover that. And that's just me. Kind of drives me nuts. So you will find that with a lot of my die cut pieces, I end up using an embossing folder, and subtle is perfect for that because it really adds a little something instead of detracting and making it too busy. And then you can also turn it upside down and you won't see that line at all. You could do that in the first place and not emboss it. Now before we emboss this piece, we are going to grab our Pool Party ink, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Just open that up. This is the old style pad. And we want to take the front, the part that has the Stampin' Up! Logo, and we are going to ink up that part. And just keep it flush. You don't want to angle it because you will end up getting in nooks and crannies that you don't want to get into. Now, because this is Pool Party, you can barely see it. I'm just going to place that down and lock it into place. And because this is a dynamic textured embossing folder, both of these folders are, we just need the top plate. And notice I did it upside down, so you have to wait a minute for the magic. So there we go. Very subtle with Pool Party. With the So Saffron, it was a little more pronounced. We could do it again, but I am okay with that. Might be hard for you to see on there, but when I take the picture and post it, you will see more of that. Make sure that you wipe off any of that excess ink. If you wanted it a little more pronounced, you could, again, put it through a second time, or you could use a different color. You could use Coastal Cabana to give it a more pop. Just gonna put a few things away here so that I don't have too much getting in the way. Okay, now while we have the big shot in the shot, we are going to recreate our sandwich with a thin die adapter, the bottom plate, and we are going to cut out our sentiment using the word thanks, which is from the well written thinlits. I think it's the well said bundle, and it's the well written thinlits. However you say it, these word dies are a must. I love having words as like a die cut word as my sentiment. Now I believe that is all that we need the big shot for. So I'll take that back out. Lost this. And just pop out the little pieces. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, thank you. Also, I clean up as I go. I tend to get overwhelmed and lose little bits and pieces. So I clean up as I go, in case you're wondering what it is I'm doing. So now, where is, see, lost it already. We can put that down. And we'll leave this on top there. See how simple that was? A couple little runs through the big shot and we've got the bulk of it. You could actually leave it like that if you wanted to. But we are going to take, we're still got our pool party ink out. We're going to take Smoky Slate and our stamp set. And we could use a different vase or we could use the same one. I think we will use the same one. I've switched up the color. I don't want to switch up everything. Now, because we are going to use the punch, if you pull out your punch, and when you go to punch it, you need it to be upside down and close to the edge. So I'm going to try and use that little piece over there. There we go. And this stamp set has both the outline and then it has a filler piece, or you could use that just as your vase. I found it needed a little more definition. Now, I'm sorry, but either my head gets in the way or the thing is out of the frame. But I just lined it up, and unfortunately I can't see it when I'm sitting the way that I'm sitting. So I just lined that up and stamped it. We are going to do the same with the flowers, and these ones we are going to fussy cut, so it doesn't really matter where they go, but we will stamp them about there. This is the second time I'm using this stamp set, so the photopolymer is super sticky. Okay, I will stand up this time so that hopefully you can see it without my head getting in there. So we're just gonna line it up, and I kind of like that it's offset, that I missed it, so we're gonna do it one more time and purposely try and offset it. Not quite that much, but okay. And then there are some coordinating leaves, and we will use Pear Pizzazz for that. And you just want to line them up before you ink it up so that you know you have it in the right direction. These are all two-step stamps, so you can see through it to see where you're going. And that's it for the stamping. Now, the reason I did thanks on this card was because there's a thanks for understanding, so you could do that in the inside of the card. Right now I have this blank, but I will be putting an insert. Anytime I use anything other than Whisper White, I always put in just a little sheet of computer paper so that it can be written on it. I find it makes it look more finished, more professional, and just more all around. Get some of these ink pads out of the way. And now we can punch our vase. Once you get it where you want it, push it about halfway down, and then you can adjust it further, but it won't move all over the place. Now with this punch, I believe it is still a bundle with the Varied Vases stamp set, which is in the annual catalog. And then this stamp set is $22 in Canada for the Vibrant Vases. And like I said, if you order it before 8 p.m. Central on March 24th, you will get a special little gift from me as my way of saying thank you. Please note that I can only sell within Canada, so if you live outside of Canada, you would be shopping with a demonstrator within your own market. And this is my own special. This isn't a Stampin' Up! Special. So not any other demonstrator wouldn't necessarily be offering this same special, is what I'm trying to say. Hashtag words are hard. So unfortunately there is no punch for these guys. There are, with the Vases Builder Punch, it does cut out the tulips, which I've also seen as one of the ghosts from Pac-Man. Super cute. When I fussy cut it, I just try and soften those edges and get them pointing down just with my thumb nail. Now we will grab our Pool Party Stampin' Right marker and just add a little bit of depth. I did the same thing with the So Saffron. Now it's not the Stampin' Blend markers. They don't blend in, but I found just giving a little bit of shading along that one side really brought it to life. And because I was so far off on these ones, I'm just gonna add a little bit here and there. This part is completely optional. I did not do this on the So Saffron card. As you can see, it's just kind of going around the outline. Now, the final step before we assemble is to take some of the basic pearls and the dark Pool Party Stampin' Blend and just color these a bit. You could also take the light Bermuda Bay, because these aren't all that dark. Whoops. And just add a little bit around the bottom. Oops. I just like to add that kind of as a, I don't know if it's the stamen or what it would be. Add that big one to the front flower because it's the closest to you and therefore would have the biggest stamen or whatever that is. I suppose I should look that up, hey? Okay, that is all the finicky little bits. Now let's glue it together. Using Tombow. You can use snail for this, but I wouldn't recommend it. It is a very thick and textured embossing folder, so it leaves a lot of really deep parts. And I have found even with Tombow that I want to hold this piece down for a minute just to let it set. And just press it down in all the places. This part you can glue down, you can use dimensionals, it's totally up to you. I'm still using Tombow. Center that. Tombow doesn't take long to set. Okay, now we'll do our thanks, and you could use the multi-purpose adhesive sheets. I just like to put some tiny little spots of glue. When my glue is cooperating. Just put that along the bottom. And then with the vase, I just put a little bit of glue on this part instead of trying to figure out where I needed it on the vase. And then with this piece, we are just going to use a dimensional. And that is it, my friends. Two very pretty, subtle cards. These are both colors from the Subtles color family. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that if you live in Canada and do not yet have the Vibrant Vases stamp set, that you will consider purchasing it for me to get that special little gift. If you need anything, you can email me at stampedaf@gmail.com or just message below. And I thank you for watching, my friends. We'll see you soon. Bye.